Kdenlive 20.12.0 OS Linux Mint. More testing of this version, and I'll show you where the version is. I'm doing a voiceover because my OBS for some reason didn't recognize my USB microphone, and it defaulted to my webcam microphone, which sucks. Okay, so I'm talking about this pillar command. I saw it mentioned in some material. Then I saw another guy talk about it in the Win 10 version. And I tried to find it in the effects, and I couldn't. So I did a search, and it shows up that it's transform and all that under that header. And it's called, what is it, Pillar Echo? Kind of strange. And what it's supposed to do is get rid of the black bars on the side of your image. And you can see it's not in the list right here. I'm looking around, I don't see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it does. I try to record 16 to 9 ratio with my camera, either camera that I have. And if I use the transform to zoom in and adjust it to the level. I don't want to see black bars anywhere. And in photos that are at 4:3 or similar, see here I just applied it. I clicked into the clip and I double clicked on the search of the command or the effect, and that's what it did. So I go, that's kind of weird, you know. I didn't try pulling on the sides, which I probably will next time. So the effect is in the software. So I decided to play around with the percentages. And it does some weird things, because now you no longer lose the sides, which you'll see in a second when I put it back in. When I go 100, it goes back to normal. So I said, wow, I'll just make it 80. But it did some weird stuff. It made it 80% of the entire ratio, which you can see in my ratio in there is 1920 by 1080. Because it recognized that when I added it to it. So if you had a 4:3 or a weird size format, but see what it does with 80, it put that on the top and the sides. So that's kind of weird. But you could get some weird effects with it. A little blur, like somebody's on drugs or something. And then I decided, well, maybe I'll, and it's keyframeable, which is kind of cool, so you could do some trick effects with it. And here I'm going to change it way down to 50 again. And I got to click in the box, and then I move all the way over and go back to 100. And it's going to do its little thing, and it's going to be fuzzy on the outside evenly at the ratio that I have in there. So that's cool. So then I play it. And this is a little sample rotoscope that I did of creating a twin. So yeah, that's interesting. Another effect to play with. And I've noticed that most of these effects you can put in title clips, so maybe you'd want to use something like this in a title clip. It's got some potential. Not so much in the video format, for me at least. The next thing I was going to mess with, I took that out. And I wanted to show you how my favorites, this is the stuff that I use almost everything. The transform I use a lot. And now they've changed where now they call motion fade in, fade out. We used to say like video fade in, fade out, motion. That's cool. Audio, these are the ones I use. Fade in, fade out, gain, mute. The keyframeable volume one is pretty cool. If you got a background noise that blurts out and you want to, and when you add that to a clip, it puts it right in the middle. So you could add a keyframe and drop it down, go through the noise level and slowly bring it back up, and you won't even know that sound was there. So it's pretty good. I use chroma key. Motion tracker I don't use. Obscure I use. Rotoscope I like. These are the main ones I use. And then if we go over to the only one I use over here besides colorizing brightness and all that good stuff is wipe. The rest of these I don't really want to. I try to shoot it as in the proper color. The lighting sometimes is a little weird, but yeah. So that's what that is. I'm playing this video and got it going in my Kdenlive just to see what's going on here, because I don't recall exactly. I was showing you all the good stuff I use. Oh, and I was going to show you how I set up my layout. As soon as we get done with me messing around with this, I'm going back to that Pillar Echo, I believe is what it's called. Just do a search with Pillar, you'll see it. So I was talking in the previous one. I don't know, I can hardly hear what I was saying under the OBS. OBS is doing weird things. When I unplug my mic, put it back in, I have to validate. So that's on me. I goofed it up. So now you get to listen to me all over again in a different way. Should be loud. And I'm still playing around with these effects, you know, and I found that if you want, whatever you want to put it in, you click where you get the red display of the clip or the title or whatever you're in, and you double click the effect. You can either drop it in there, drag and drop, or double click it. 99% of the time, double click, it goes in there. So I'm going back to the Pillar command and I'm looking at like, I tried all these things and I couldn't find it. The only one I do want to mess with is that rotate. It's keyframeable. We'll have to see what that does. Because you can rotate and transform, so I don't know what the difference is. I will test that and get back. Now, as far as the layout, when 20.8 came out, it has these little squares up here, logging, editing, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't really want to see the audio mixer. The one that was closest to what I had was effects. But if I saved what I liked before, after I changed everything, and go to video and load layout, and the one I like is the bin to the far left, big enough. When you do your effect, the controls of that effect on the clip that you're in, and I get the biggest video representation on the screen that I can get, almost a quarter of my screen, and the widest timeline. Even though there's a slider, they can zip that around to condense it or expand it. Sometimes you want to expand it when you're And the voiceover seems to work pretty good, so I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to keep testing all these effects that are available now in 20.12.0.